Hello all, B.L. Carter here, affectionately known as Miss B, back with part 2 of the series, The Endocrine System. And in this particular tutorial, we are going to discuss the hypothalamus and the pineal glands briefly, and the hormones that they secrete into the body. The hypothalamus, as we said in part 1, and we see here, is located this orange dot right here within the brain. It is the portion of the brain that maintains the body's internal balance, what we call homeostasis. That's just that the body being balanced, whether it's liquids, whether it's food, whether it's the lymphatic system, just maintaining the overall internal balance of the body. The hypothalamus is the link between the endocrine system and the nervous system, and it is involved in many functions of the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system are those things that occur without you having to tell it to occur. They just happen on their own, hence autonomic. It receives its information from just every part of the nervous system. The hypothalamus is getting information from it. So it's involved in many functions of the autonomic nervous system. The hypothalamus continued. The hypothalamus produces releasing and inhibiting hormones, and those are hormones which either stop or start the production of other hormones throughout the body. So it will tell other glands to either stop producing other hormones, start producing other hormones, release the hormones that you produced, or stop releasing the hormones that you produce and store for later. And some of the body processes that are affected in this include heart rate and blood pressure. The hormones that are released and inhibited by the hypothalamus impact heart rate and blood pressure. They impact your body temperature, maintaining at 98.6 or 98.7 or whatever your normal body temperature may be. Your fluid and electrolyte balance, and that includes thirst. So if you're extremely thirsty, your body just could need water. But the hypothalamus gets the message that your body needs water, and it tells your brain, hey, I'm thirsty. And so it sends out all the signals to get you to give your body water. Another process affected by the hormones released or inhibited, by the hypothalamus include appetite and body weight, glandular secretions of the stomach and intestines, and that's usually for digestion and things like that. Your sleep cycles. The hypothalamus plays a role in making sure the appropriate hormones are released so that you can sleep on time the way you're supposed to, sleep for hopefully the number of hours that you're supposed to, and just pretty much go to bed at night, wake up in the day. And we're going to talk a little bit on the pineal gland about a little bit more specific on the sleep cycle. And then the hypothalamus influences the pituitary gland to release its hormones. So even though the pituitary we talked about in part 1 is considered the master gland, again, the hypothalamus and the hormones that it releases, the hormones that it releases tells the pituitary to either release hormones that it has created or might be storing, or it tells the pituitary, don't release, hold on, stop, hold on to it for a while. Or if it's something that the pituitary actually has to produce, the hypothalamus is the one that says, hey, don't produce anymore, we've got enough in the body. So, Our next gland is the pineal gland. And for those of you who have some familiarity in the, and I guess you could say alternate faith or spirituality, whatever faith you want to call it, the pineal gland is known as the third eye. When we look at it, we usually see a picture of another eye in between, in the forehead, in between the two natural eyes. But this particular picture does not show that. This graphic shows it within the brain. And here it is right here in the brain, the pineal gland right here, where this red dot is. Now the pineal gland makes and secretes melatonin. Melatonin is what helps to maintain your sleep cycle. So if you can't go to sleep, that means for whatever reason melatonin is not being made or it's not being secreted. Or if you're sleeping too much, or if you can only sleep during the day and not at night, or whatever the case may be, the pineal gland could have some issues, or it could be some issues with the actual synthesis of the melatonin. So, and it synthesizes that melatonin from, guess what? Serotonin, the happy hormone. I know if any of you have watched TV before, it's been touted that people are depressed because they don't have correct serotonin levels. Well, if serotonin levels impact your mood, they also impact your ability to sleep. And we know if you're not sleeping well, then you're not going to be in the best of moods, and you won't learn as well and function as well, etc., etc. So already we can see how these things are intermingled and interlaced with each other. But melatonin is synthesized from serotonin. Serotonin, I'll go ahead and say, is synthesized from protein. Protein are the building blocks of a lot of the hormones in the body. The pineal gland also blocks the pituitary secretions of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, LH and FSH. And those are the reproductive hormones. So your pineal gland knows if you're pregnant, and if you are, tells the body, hey, we don't need as much LH and FSH. But if you're not pregnant, the pineal gland knows to tell your body, hey, go ahead and release a follicle. And for women during the menses, those follicles release and that whole process. And we'll get to that a little later on. The pineal gland plays a role in it. Here are some important notes that I put here. Fluoride, phosphorus, and calcium will calcify the pineal gland. When it becomes calcified, it becomes hard and it does not function well. For those of you who use it in your spirituality, you know that. But for those who don't usually pay attention, when it is calcified, you have trouble sleeping. Your sleep cycle is off. You have trouble synthesizing that because you have trouble synthesizing the melatonin. As well, if the luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone levels are not correct, you have trouble maintaining fertility, trouble being able to get pregnant or sustain the pregnancy. That's why it's very important to decalcify the pineal gland at various intervals so that you can sleep well, so that you can be rejuvenated and have the proper amount of energy, and so that you can reproduce. So, let me throw something in here really quickly. We all know what's been going on around in the world regarding population control, and things like that. Does it ring a bell to you that this particular gland right here, this pineal gland, which plays a role in your sleep, your ability to go to sleep at night and let your body rejuvenate, that all the dead cells, all the cells that need to die, go ahead and die, all the ones that need to recreate or be newly created, create, all of the processes that need to happen at night while you're sleeping so that your body can rejuvenate. And there's actually a set time that different things occur, different body rejuvenation processes occur. And that'll be a separate video series. If this pineal gland is not working properly, that means all of those different processes that occur through the night are not going to work properly either. And over the long haul, you won't work properly. So does it make you wonder why we have fluoride in our water? It's going to make you not work properly. You won't be able to think properly. You won't be able to reproduce as readily. Calcium is very important. Fluoride is a dangerous no-no. So again, you want to decalcify. A whole nother separate series on how to decalcify the pineal gland. So a couple reminders. This information is not meant to replace your physician. It is meant for you to use as a guide to help you in your health care. I encourage you to research. This is just a quick overview, giving you some ideas of the things that you're dealing with. It is meant to help those who struggle with any sort of endocrine disruption, which again is about 99.9% of anyone who has been diagnosed with any disease at all. But it's specifically targeted to those diseases that were mentioned in the video, autoimmune disease and intro. So go have a look at that. I encourage you to look for the next video in this series. In this particular series, the endocrine system, where we'll be talking about the thyroid, the parathyroid, and the thymus glands. I also encourage you to be a blessing to someone else and share this video. Share it and keep sharing it. People need to know. They definitely need to know, especially the younger crowd that's at childbearing age. They definitely need to know the impact of the pineal gland, well, all of the glands overall, and the importance in being able to reproduce. And I encourage you to subscribe so that you will get notifications when the other videos in this series are uploaded. I hope you found some information here that was beneficial. Take it, run with it, research it, apply it as you need to apply it. Drop comments in the boxes below. I'll be more than happy to get with you, and be blessed.